Roblox is currently facing one of the biggest scandals in gaming history, and judging by their response so far, this could be what finally destroys the game for good. It all started with them banning and threatening to sue a YouTuber named Schlep for exposing PDF files on their platform.
The Roblox Corporation has sent a cease and desist letter to me, a 22-year-old, versus a multi-billion-dollar company, threats of litigation because I catch predators on their platform.
But when Schlepp shared the incident online, most people saw it as Roblox trying to shield some of the worst people in our society.
So instead of stopping the predators, Roblox stops the people stopping the predators. It's really backwards, if you ask me. That shit doesn't make any sense. Like, just let that marinate in your head for a moment.
What followed was a firestorm of backlash that went far beyond a trending hashtag. Some of the biggest Roblox creators cut all ties with the company.
Roblox is so detached from reality. I feel like it's got to be done at this point. I'm leaving the STAR program. I'm out. I'm done.
It's getting sued by members of the US government. It lost over $12 billion in market value in days. And now, the most well-known PDF catcher in the world, Chris Hansen, is telling Roblox to take a seat. Hi, I'm the Internet Anarchist. I create weekly YouTube documentaries, and today, we're taking a deep dive into the disturbing situation surrounding Roblox, how it failed to address the massive child safety issues on its platform for years, banned one of the few people who were actually trying to make a difference, and then doubled down on its decision despite everyone on the internet telling them just how wrong this move was.
I think some of these groups started off in a really good place, and they started off really, and they still do really care about the community.
But you know what the right move is? Subscribing, because 76% of you aren't subscribed but still watch all of my videos. That being said, to truly grasp the chaos unfolding in front of us, we have to start with the man at the heart of it all, Schlepp. Michael, known online as Schlepp, is a Roblox YouTuber who first gained success by bringing attention to the mountains of inappropriate content and games on the platform. However, what really cemented Schlepp as a household name in the Roblox community was his To Catch a Robloxian series. In essence, these videos were similar to how Chris Hansen used to do things back in the day, or even how modern hunters like Gideon catch PDF files online. The only difference was, instead of social media as a whole, Schlepp focused entirely on Roblox. He used decoys who pretended to be underage and engaged with anyone trying to have inappropriate conversations with these decoys.
He would not stop talking about how much he was obsessed with the face of the decoy.
I'm obsessed.
Tell me more.
I just love how good your face looks.
Really?
Hell yes.
Haha.
You're attractive. I definitely do some stuff to your amazing face, you know?
From this point on, the messages become so graphic that I don't even feel comfortable sharing them here. For context, not long after the last messages I showed, he sent an explicit photo, and then multiple videos. The decoy played naive, pretending to not understand this kind of stuff.
Once he had enough information on who the other person was, or if the other person tried to make a move on the decoy, Schlepp handed everything over to the police, allowing them to take matters from there. And unlike creators like Vitaly, who tried to hunt down prods just to humiliate them on camera and farm content, Schlepp's only goal was to make Roblox a safer place for its hundreds of millions of underage players. And by getting 6 different PDF files arrested in just the last 10 months, he was definitely succeeding at this goal. The audience also loved this content, with many even sharing personal anecdotes in support of everything Schlepp was doing. Hi Schlepp, I'm an SA survivor, and seeing you protect other kids from going through the pain I went through really warms my heart. Thank you. Dude, you're not protecting Roblox, you're protecting the world. As a teenage girl, thank you so much for doing this work. I know to avoid these people, fortunately, but I'm so glad you're protecting the people who don't know what to avoid. You're amazing. And while millions appreciated him for doing the right thing, for Schlepp, this meant a lot more than that. For him, it was personal. You see, Schlep first started playing on Roblox 10 years ago, when he was just 12 years old. Unfortunately, not long after joining, he was contacted by a prominent game developer on the platform. And for the next 3 years, this developer did everything in their power to group Schlep, from sending them graphic violent content and corn, to engaging in deeply inappropriate conversations. However, when Schlep was hospitalized after trying to end it all, likely due to the mental abuse he was going through, his mother tried to contact Roblox about what was going on, only for her pleas to fall on deaf ears. The company only responded after his mother threatened legal action, but even then, they waived all responsibility, claiming that the inappropriate stuff happened, quote, on another platform, completely glancing over the fact that it all started on their platform, and more importantly, the person who was being reported was directly contracted by Roblox. Worst of all, this person didn't face any penalties for what they did to Schlep. Roblox kept them on payroll for years, and only fired them after another female developer reported them for SA. In other words, to catch a Robloxian was Schlep's way of making sure no other kid goes through what he once did. That said, the only reason Schlep had to take matters into his own hands was because Roblox didn't show any interest in making their game safe for over 50% of their player base. The thing is, Roblox has always been a popular hunting ground for PDF files due to its lax moderation and practically non-existent age verification. There are dozens, if not hundreds, of reports of Preds using the platform to find and lure victims, many even using the in-game currency Robux as a bribe for inappropriate favors, including multiple cases of PDF files going as far as kidnapping victims they met on Roblox. And an investigation done by an Australian online safety organization also exposed just how widespread this issue truly was.
Who's been offered free Robux to do something that was inappropriate in the game? Or someone has said, I'll give you some free Robux if you come and follow me on Snapchat or TikTok or something like that. Who's had that happen? Okay, loads of you.
Yet, despite all this, Roblox never took any of it seriously and let things become worse with each passing day. Not to mention the influx of extremely disturbing games on the platform like Escape to Epstein Island, Public Bathroom Simulator, and the many Diddy-related titles. Roblox's inaction forced Schlep to fix the issue himself to the best of his abilities. But instead of thanking him for his effort or even learning from his example and doing something themselves, Roblox responded by doing the worst thing they could, banning Schlep and threatening legal action if he continued exposing PDFs on their platform. On August 9th, 2025, Schlep uploaded a video with a title that sounded too cartoonishly evil to be true, claiming, "Roblox is threatening to sue me for protecting kids." Unfortunately, this wasn't clickbait.
The Roblox Corporation has sent a cease and desist letter to me, a 22-year-old, versus a multi-billion-dollar company, threats of litigation, because I catch predators on their platform.
Schlep revealed that every account he's ever had on Roblox was banned from the platform, including the accounts he and his team were actively using to catch PDFs. He was also prohibited from using any Roblox product ever again, with threats of legal action if he ever tried to work around this ban. However, their reasoning for doing all this was dubious at best and outright deceptive at worst. According to them, Schlep's actions were somehow exposing their users to increased risk. The three actions they highlighted as primary reasons behind this cease and desist were also untrue. For instance, they claimed that Schlep was the one directing users to move the conversation off platform, even though it was clear from his videos that the Preds were the ones who always asked the decoy to go off platform to apps like Snapchat or Discord. Similarly, their claim about simulated child endangerment conversations didn't hold much weight either.
Engaging in simulated child endangerment conversations. What? So one of the fundamental bases of predator catching is that you cannot talk sexually to predators. Predators are supposed to be the ones talking sexually to you. If you talk to predators like straight off the get-go, that's entrapment. That is literally what entrapment is. We almost always play a naive kid who doesn't know anything about this stuff, so they teach us about this stuff. If you've watched these videos, you know how the chats are going.
Worst of all, the company claimed that Schlepp didn't use the right channels to report these PDFs before going to the authorities, disregarding the fact that he always shared the same chat logs with Roblox as he did to the police. The only difference is the police actually took action, while Roblox ignored his reports altogether.
Tell me the right outlets. I have been trying to figure this out for like a year now. We go to roblox.com/support, submit a moderation ticket, and then fill out the prompt with all the information regarding our arrest and give you guys the same Google Drive that we give to the cops. And in a lot of instances, Roblox won't even ban after we reach out to them regarding felony arrest.
The only time Roblox actually banned the perpetrators was long after Schlepp's video featuring them received millions of views. Now, one could argue that Roblox didn't respond to his reports simply because they don't have the capacity to review the tens of thousands of reports they receive each day, though they would if they actually cared about keeping their platform safe. But giving them the benefit of the doubt still doesn't change the fact that, in one instance, Schlepp even tagged the company's CEO directly on Twitter, and instead of any acknowledgement, he was blocked.
Last time I tweeted at Roblox's CEO, it was about a predator we had arrested. Roblox ignored it until Gideon and I made videos. Then they banned him, only for him to return. I sent proof of him talking about the video I made on him in a voice chat game on Roblox. Mind you, the same game a 10-year-old was abducted through weeks from this taking place. I replied to one of the CEO's posts about this, and he blocked me.
Getting back to his ban, it's unclear why anyone at Roblox thought it would be a good idea. What is clear, however, was that none of them expected the sheer scale of backlash they would receive in response. Schlepp's video announcing the ban went viral almost immediately, amassing over 4.5 million views in less than 2 weeks. More importantly, the topic got picked up by some of the biggest creators on YouTube, almost all of whom were in full support of Schlepp.
It's pretty odd considering Roblox willingly turns a blind eye to the plague on their platform, but will laser focus, dial in, and fucking call in like the asteroid that wiped out the dinosaurs in order to try and wipe out people like Schlepp that try and stop the predators themselves. So instead of stopping the predators, Roblox stops the people stopping the predators. It's really backwards, if you ask me. That shit doesn't make any sense. Like, just let that marinate in your head for a moment.
Just hours after the announcement, #FreeSchlepp started trending on social media sites as well, and the support for him was overwhelming, with some of the top comments under his video stating things like, "The whole world is on your side, homie. Roblox won't win, and we'll make sure of it. Keep fighting. We'll be there with you. We with you 100%, bro. They should be disgraced you're doing their job for them." Roblox's initial response to this backlash seemed like a step in the right direction, like banning many of the deeply inappropriate games they'd been happily promoting to children for years, and forcing popular games like Meep City to remove all inappropriate features like lewd animations and outfits. In reality, however, this was nothing more than corporate damage control, something that became obvious with the response video the company's executives, including the CEO, put out. And while they didn't mention Schlepp by name, the whole 45-minute video boiled down to how, quote, vigilantes were going too far.
I think some of these groups started off in a really good place, and they started off, really, and they still do really care about the community. The actions that they were taking were putting our community at greater risk and were violations of our policy.
This doesn't really make any sense if you think about it for more than 2 seconds, because by definition, a vigilante is someone who undertakes law enforcement in their community without legal authority. In other words, someone who takes the law into their own hands and tries to enact judgment despite not having the authority to do so. Well, Schlepp never did anything even remotely close to this. He never tried to detain the PDFs he exposed or put them through some other punishment. All he did was hand over the information he'd gathered to the authorities and let them decide what to do next, which, given the evidence he'd gathered, usually resulted in the pred getting arrested. So when some of Roblox's top executives insinuated that Schlepp was acting like a vigilante, it only underscored just how out of touch they truly were. At one point in the video, Roblox's chief safety officer made a string of claims about Schlepp and his team to justify the ban, only for the CEO to cut him off mid-sentence.
They would go and create accounts on Roblox claiming to be a child. And then they would enter into game servers And they would go and start asking everybody around them, how old are you? And they were seeking out adults. If you said that you were 12 or you said you were 7, they would just move on. But if you said that you were 25, then they would start engaging in conversations, and they would try and use those conversations to simulate.
Matt, is this anecdotal? Because I know we have chat logs for all chat on Roblox and historical records. Are you able to kind of take a look at this?
The way CEO David Baszucki interrupted and derailed the conversation was quite suspicious, almost as if he realized the CSO was making things up and didn't want to hand the internet any more ammunition. Here's the thing, however, if the company's track record is anything to go by, they likely would have stuck with their decision to ban Schlepp and moved on like nothing ever happened. No amount of online backlash would have made them budge. In a statement released on August 13th, they even insinuated that PDF catchers like Schlepp were somehow just as bad as the Preds. Fortunately, the story of Schlepp's ban became international news, allowing it to reach people who can actually hold Roblox and its management accountable. On August 15, 2025, Louisiana Attorney General Liz Murrill filed a lawsuit against the company for knowingly endangering the well-being of its younger player base. This hits the company where it mattered the most, their wallets. The news of this lawsuit was followed up by a historic crash in Roblox stock, wiping off over $12 billion from its market valuation. And this was only after the lawsuit was announced. It's not hard to imagine Roblox losing a lot more if the lawsuit goes through and succeeds. That said, the Louisiana lawsuit was only the beginning of Roblox's troubles, because the same day, Schlep announced the law firms he'd partnered with to file a counterclaim against Roblox. These are Steiner Gold, Greico and Hensley, and Milberg, Coleman, Bryson, Phillips, Grossman, both of which have successfully represented victims of Jeffrey Epstein in the past. And if that wasn't bad enough, world-renowned PDF catcher and grifter Chris Hansen announced his upcoming documentary on Roblox a day later on August 16.
You may have heard that my streaming crime network, True Blue, and I are investigating the exploitation of children on the popular gaming platform Roblox. Well, it's absolutely true, and we're deep into it. I've already interviewed law enforcement investigators and victims of this horrible activity.
In a recent video on Schlepp's channel, he even voiced his full support for what the young YouTuber was doing.
Horrible from a public image standpoint. I mean, you're killing the messenger, right? It's not like you're out there tracking these guys down with, tasers and smoke guns. I mean, you're providing information to the platform to do something about it.
Now, these lawsuits and documentaries may not pose an immediate threat to Roblox. After all, proper investigations and legal proceedings take time, but that doesn't mean the company is in the clear just yet. You see, the biggest blow Roblox has taken in this entire controversy is to its reputation. Just think of how many parents assumed Roblox was just a harmless children's game, and to let their kids have unrestricted access to it. With Schlepp's story gaining international attention, many of these parents have now seen the truth, and they will likely never let their kids get even close to Roblox ever again. As an angry father on YouTube put it, "I'm a 31-year-old father of a 9-year-old daughter and a 7-year-old son. I had absolutely no idea how dangerous this Roblox could be. I had to sit my daughter down and asked her if she had ever played any of these games like Bathroom Simulator, and it turns out she has. I'm furious as a dad. How could things like this exist in a child's game? If I could meet with that Roblox CEO in person, I'd kick his ass." This, ultimately, is one of the most important outcomes of this whole situation. So even if Roblox manages to dodge legal trouble and continues operating as usual, parents and by extension their children will still be aware of the dangers lurking on the platform. Especially since the CEO of said platform sounds completely unhinged, with his plans to add online dating to a platform where over half the player base is underaged.
Given Roblox's history with how many cases, numerous cases there have been of adults preying on children through Roblox, to now try and cater Roblox to be a dating site for adults sounds like a recipe for disaster.
A petition to remove this CEO has received over 212,000 signatures in less than 2 weeks. And maybe new leadership could save Roblox. But right now, it's racing towards a downfall it fully deserves. A game that didn't deserve its downfall one bit, however, was Little Big Planet. Click the video on screen to find out more.